He'd slipped out while no one was looking. But he left two things behind: a rather nasty smell and a battered bowler hat.
16 was a saddle tank like Wilbur, that Wilbur probably made up, who worked at a steelworks, which is probably the same one that Thomas went to in that one other movie. 16 was kind of like a 16-year-old teenager, worked at the colliery, disobeyed orders, and I would put, like, it was him, Stanley, and Godred, like those guys, you know? But he passed by a danger sign, and went cab over wheels, that's what they call that. Now, Thomas obviously knows about danger signs, but this guy didn't, I guess. And fell over cab over wheels. Now, don't worry, he got better than he deserved, because he was actually preserved. Unlike Goddard, who was cannibalized, and Stanley, who rotted away in a mine for the rest of eternity, 16 was saved, and he works on a heritage railway. Now, some people think 16 and Wilbur are the same, though that has 100% been confirmed not true, and 16 is not what were they called, boy? Walter. The austerity engine. Where was going with this? Oh yeah, so yeah, there's like 3 different saddle tanks up here in this book. You got Walter, the austerity engine that's mentioned, Wilbur, and then this guy, who Wilbur probably made up. There's a character gallery episode on it. I'll go tell you to do that. And we're out of time. Time for tier 3. Barry. Bear. Bear is a diesel who appears in the book Enterprising Engines, and we love him. Bear was originally in British Railway Blue and Yellow, and came with that other engine we mentioned, D199. Now, D199 was like, stupid steam engines, and Bear was like, mate, shut up, be nice. Because Bear, like, respected the steam engine elders. He worshipped the Gordon. He had, I don't think he actually really had any official Thomas One Railway toys. There have been some really good customs over the years. And he would be bought by the Northwestern Railway, because he was actually super nice and respected steam engines, and would be put on passenger duty. Appears in several different fan content and stuff. For some reason, it kind of looks like a balloon there. And does make a few cameos in Chris's books, but otherwise, never appears again. But he is in Super Rescue, and that's like the greatest book ever. That's the greatest story ever. In the second greatest book, because I still think Duke the Lost Engine is the greatest book. But like, greatest story, Super Rescue. Go read it now. I don't care if you have the Railway Story. Go get the Railway Series story right now. Why didn't they make an episode on it? I'm depressed at this day. This new series, I need a Super Rescue episode. What? Big Mickey. Big Mickey was a character originally made in Tugs, and they brought all those props over to Brenham Dock, which I think is the same location. And Big Mickey is a crane that works at Brenham Docks, and for the longest time was unnamed, but worked right next to Cranky. He does have some alternate appearances, like being yellow in this one scene for some reason. And notably faceless, but was just a normal sight you see at Brenham Docks that everyone kind of loves, Again, faceless, and then we get this reveal. Where'd that face come from? They also used his model in Big Adventures, because Big Mickey is actually an American crane that was sold to other places, but not, like, Africa. Yet they didn't have Big Mickey in America? I don't know. It's Big Mickey! Oh my god, it's Big Mickey! Where did he come from? Oh my god! Oh, it's Big Mickey! Greatest moment of all of Thomas and Friends. Nothing like that happened.
his talk is going up.
Move out, everyone! It's going
My
over!
New Year's Eve
Here we
fireworks.
are! Hunting clear!
Just hope Ricky gets it right, otherwise he'll sink us all.
I wouldn't
Big
I wouldn't mind too
Mickey!
much Big Mickey Fell, to be honest. Oh God! Oh, he's falling sideways.
Oh, he's done it. He's falling sideways.
Screw you, OJ.
Yeah, that was too close for comfort.
It took real skill to make that move.
He saved us all for sure.
Big Mickey died. Like, legit died. R.I.P. Big Mickey, you died. And yes, there was a deleted scene in Tugs where he came back as a ghost called Snatcher, which creeped me out to no end. But, didn't happen, unfortunately. Now I'm sad. God. We see Ginty's face. He helps Thomas out because Thomas was trying to brag to him. Thomas had a little awesome accident. It's better in the TV show. And yeah, Ginty laughs at him and he takes Thomas's place. Because Ginty and Pug took Thomas and Percy's place when they went on a little journey. A lot of cool models of Pug. Honestly, I love... Wait, is this Percy? This might just be Percy. I don't know. I like this model. This is a nice model. Yeah, a lot of models, a lot of customs. Appear a lot of fan projects. These are good models. Appear a lot of fan projects. And they were both scrapped. Pug and Ginty were scrapped. Go watch Ginty and Pug. Ginty and Pug were part of the Percy fan club. But the Percy Glazers. Good old water. Drink some water, kids. No, get off this video. Drink some water. I don't care if you're gaming right now. Because why would you be watching this video if you're not gaming? Honestly, who's watching this video? If you're making it this far, put down Connor. Just write Connor in the comments or something like that. Actually, just write anything in any of the comments of my videos. Swear at me for all I care. No one ever writes anything in my comments. I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing, but like, please. I'm sorry. I'm just sad. Anyway, Ginty and Pug. Albert and Albert, the mid-soda engines. Don't be confused. The Audreys love naming people Albert. There's like 20 Alberts. So Albert used to be it was a huge... I'm going to make a whole video about the mid-soda one day. But Albert was a huge saddle tank like Falcon, who worked on the line before being cannibalized for parts and becoming one with our Falcon boy, Sir Handel. So then they got a second Albert, named Albert. He was sold off in 1936, and he actually survived to present day. Our boy Albert, yeah, this Albert, the first Albert, he's dead, but this Albert, he actually did survive to present day. He was there at the Tallylin Railway Audio Extravaganza 5, I think. So we don't exactly know what happened, but him and Jerry were brought by private collectors eventually, and they survived to present day. Can't say the same about Jim. Jim didn't make it, but Albert did. Albert made it. He's the only one. And they have a lot of fan art. I really like this one. I like this one a lot. This is my... Albert, the furnace engine. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You probably... Albert, the furnace railway engine. Albert was a lot like Thomas, but older and kinder. He was painted beautiful red, and he's a furnace railway engine, like Edward. He had two coaches I don't know the names of, and I don't care to know their names. But yeah, I think one was actually Victoria. Victoria. I don't know. And when Albert used to work at the furnace railway, pretty cool railway until it wasn't. Pulled the two coaches around on his branch line. He didn't care about snow or a snow plow. Where did I hear that before? Went into a tunnel, scraped for his funnel, and got buried by a bunch of snow. Where did I hear that before? He had a coach, I think was named Victoria, who actually lives modern day and works with Edward. No, Toby. She works with Toby. Albert is based off a real locomotive, which I can find these pretty cool pictures of. Now, these locomotives they were built in 1872. Old. That's older than the Vanderlyn gang. And these engines were built as tender engines. Ooh. And then got rebuilt as tank engines. And yes, I am using Nowhere Railway. Well, this is Nowhere Railway. This is, I think it's like, I don't know where this is from. Some other game. But yeah, played a lot of video games, a lot of edits, which honestly, this one's my favorite. Because I love the fact this implies that all the Furnace Railway engines just have Edward's face. And I think that is hilarious to no end. But yeah, appears in so many videos and models, and is just a good fellow. Unfortunately, he was scrapped though. All of his class were scrapped. So unless you want to do a Donald Douglas, he died. He's dead. He's scrapped. RP. Albert, man. Why am I sad? The Big City Engine. This is a fun one that everyone loves. You see, the Big City Engine was an engine that came to Sodor from taking a super long mega passenger train from London to Sodor. And him, Duck, and Gordon argued about the stations. Gordon said it was King's Cross. Big City Engine said it was, I think he said Paddington. No, he said St. Pancras. Duck said Paddington. I don't actually know. I'm sorry. But, yeah, the boys were arguing all night. They made everyone else annoyed. And this was going to be a TV series episode. But that never came to be. They were going to use Henry as Big City Engine. Imagine that. Anyway, he even got many video game models. Everyone loves him. And we know his name is Big City Engine because that's what the Wooden Railway toy said. And Wooden Railway would never lie. They would never make I Will Hugh the Zoo Engine or randomly make Bertram the Scrap Engine, having him go all the way around Sodor collecting scrap somehow. We also had a take and play model that actually looks pretty good. I do not think about him and Henry actually, like, Henry's a good model, not because he's just green, but honestly, he'd be a good one to actually use. But yeah, he has a lot of fan art, all kind of stories and stuff. And yeah, just beloved character. Even though he appears in one story. One page. Drum roll, folks. This is my favorite character. My second favorite character. Favorite character is Luke. Second favorite character in the entire series is my boy Neil, the Nielsen box tank. Neil is just like the greatest character of all time. Look at him. He's beautiful. Now, as far as we know, he is the second locomotive to ever arrive on Sodor. He helped push Skarloey from the dock up to the Skarloey Railway. And I memorized his line. Neil was ugly but kind, said Skarloey. He said, so you bound for the wee railway, he said. Put some order in those trucks, as we they make you hardly believe. That's my best Scottish accent. It's terrible, I know. They made him an Earl toy that I somehow don't have and I need. They made him a beautiful wooden railway toy that I don't have and I need. Hey, if anyone has like a Neil, I would pay a lot to have it. He has so much fan art, models, stories. So S&M. It stands for Sodor Mainland. Ironically, it never mentioned mainland. Long story short, this railway wanted to go from Barrow and Furness to Kildane. Never did any of that. Best they got was Croven's Gate to Kirkroden because they tried to build a tunnel like 8 times. Didn't work. Tried to build a bridge. Didn't work. Tried to propose a bridge. Didn't work. Ended up laying tracks in Vickerstown. It was just a mess of a railway. Destruction everywhere. Never could make it anywhere. The reason the Mid-Sodor exists. And there were 3 Nielsen box tanks. Now, we don't entirely know what their names are, but most likely their names were Norris, Neil, and Nellie. Though their names have not been confirmed yet. And they're all Scottish. And they're beautiful Nielsen box tanks. No, now there was no number 4. Now some people believe there was number 4. There was no fourth box tank, okay? A fourth box tank never happened. Get that mind out of your head. It was confirmed. I read the books. Get out for Pokemon Go. Get out the books. I read the books. Maybe it's of the Nielsen boxing, one of the most beautiful engines to ever live. Now, unfortunately, all the Nielsen boxings were scrapped. There are like 3 pictures of them. Sorry, they were sent everywhere. There were so many different models and stuff of them. So also, yeah, a lot of different models and such. That's a nice looking Ertl toy. And he does appear in a few more illustrations. Also, I thought Nielsen, like when I heard Neil was scrapped, I did shed a tear. But he actually lived. He lives in the Croven's Gate Preservation Society with another engine. Or 2 other engines. So Neil lives. Neil lives. Okay, this is a big one. So, please let me, forgive me for skipping around a little bit and just being a little bit more brief. Because this is a huge one. Okay, every Culdee Fell engine. So the Culdee Fell engines only appear in mountain engines. I think they are briefly mentioned once in Christopher's books. And then there's a few passages with them in the Island of Soda book and the People History and Railways and Soda reading between the lines, But yeah, mountain engines. Sorry. Based on a realized Snowden Mountain Railway. Number 1, Godred. Arrived in 1900. Pretty glorious guy. Fell down a mountain.
On repair. We have no money to mend you, so you will go to the back of the shed forever.
Forever. Cried first time I watched this. Must be what, 6? Sorry, what a Culdee. Oh god. They ate him.
On repair. We have no...
Trained cannibalism as much. R.I.P. boy. He was like a day old. Ernest, a little bit more sensible, we think. I don't know, we never see him. Yeah, he was scrapped. Subsidated by the 2 other new boys. We'll get to them, but yeah, Ernest scrapped. Wilfred, we do see him. Actually, I think we do see Ernest is behind in one illustration, but yeah, Wilfred. Hi, Wilfred, my brother. Yeah, he appears in one illustration. He likes whistling. He's a little whistle boy. He also got scrapped. Damn. This really sucks. Culdee, the sensible one, our main character, our boy. He doesn't get scrapped. Wow. Shane Dooney. He's the one who sounds like a mountain. I strip him and Culdee. Like the 2 of them are very like Shane Dooney. He sounds like a now in the books, they are all painted purple, but I do prefer the different colors for them, especially the Sword Art Online ones, as they're not dramatic yellow, green, blue. They're sorry, they're very tasteful, but yeah, and the books are both purple, and they're not the same. Like not all these engines had very differences, even though both at the same time. Like look at Culdee's Whistle and Dome. Look at Shane Dooney's Whistle and Dome. Now, we don't ever see Shane Dooney because he's off in Switzerland doing something. But yeah, Shane Dooney actually lives. Stupid box. Why did the slides fall over? Whatever. Sorry. Yeah, so, yeah, actually, 4 and 5 lived. Lord Harry Boraine. Lord Harry arrived in 1960 with his other 2 friends we'll get to. I'm so sorry I'm coughing so much. Anyway, Lord Harry's one of the newer superheated engines. He was named Lord Harry after the manager of the railway, was pompous, brash, and had an accident. Hey, it's Wilfred. So Culdee had to help him. Then he got demoted from Lord to no one. A mere peasant. And had to pull the truck. That, honestly, probably isn't around today. The truck might be around today in a museum, but I don't think he's around today. They had a few trucks in the early years, but like the farmers and roads, it wasn't profitable, so they scrapped them and only had 2 trucks left. But during one beautiful day, there was a storm, so Lord Harry had to wait at the station because a guy named Patrick and his friend got stuck on the mountain. And this beautiful illustration happened, where Lord Harry had to push the truck up the hill and saved Patrick. And then he got renamed. Hey, look, it's Wilfred again. Oh, did I mention they all have 2 faces? I should have mentioned that, yeah. These boys have 2 faces. One on the front, one on the back. How did I forget that? The locals online, actually, the video game ones never actually have the 2 faces, but yeah. How does this work? Don't ask. How did I forget about the 2 faces? Oh my god. No, I'm just disturbed now. I'm just deeply disturbed now. And it's not 2 separate people, it's just 2 faces. Let's move on. And he was renamed Patrick. Hooray. Alaric, I think. Yeah, Alaric. He replaced my boy Ernest. He died. Yeah, he got scrapped in the 80s. Sorry, he got scrapped in the 80s. Period of real life. And, yeah, his parts just kind of scattered the area now by the 2 diesels. If the 4 diesels, Eric. He replaced my boy Wilfred. He also got scrapped by these 4 diesels. Now, we never actually see the diesels because they refused to write any more stories about the Culdee Fell. But yeah, we know in real life the railway bought 4 diesels, so they replaced them. They also bought a train car set of coaches, but they, like, mutable coaches, but they failed and were scrapped. They also had like 2 or 3 other experiments, but they were all scrapped. So honestly, in Culdee Fell universe, I think they would only actually have the 4 diesels. 2 to 4 diesels would arrive, and that would be that. Maybe one other little small shunter. Those actually have coaches. In the early days, they had open coaches, and like these coaches, but also coaches with like a little roof on them. And then they were replaced by these coaches. And their coaches would replaced a few more times. The only name of these coaches we know is Catherine. And I think there's only 1 open exposed coach, but yeah. Go watch it. Stanley. Stanley, or number 2, as Duke called him, is the number 2 of the Minnesota Railway. Now, you see, there's a huge debate in fandom, which is better, Smudger or Stanley. I love them both, and why can't they both... In my personal universe, you had Duchess number 2, Smudger number 2, Stanley number 2, and Andreas number 2. Because we can have all. Why can't we have all? You know? Now, personally, I believe the story works better with Smudger, but I think Stanley is more interesting to have on-screen chemistry with the other engines, but Smudger is the story Duke tells. Sorry. But you see, the thing is, Stanley arrived in, I think it was, yeah, no, my Minnesota knowledge, 1920. Stanley arrived in 1920, returned to a pumping engine in 1928. That's cool. Thing is, Falcon arrived in 1903. Stewart arrived in 1920. So Smudger makes sense, and Smudger's super old. So we can have him arrive in like the 1890s, and he's the story Duke tells. As for Stanley, he arrives later. I mean, this story takes place in 1903, and Stanley appears. Now, Stanley is based off a real model that Reverend Audrey had. Sorry. Who, for once, wasn't replaced. Because Audrey loved replacing his engines. But no, number 2 Stanley was never replaced. And then the engine didn't do well. And he dismantled it, used the chassis for, I think, Stewart, and turned the rest of it into a pumping engine. Now, Stanley appears in so much fan content. I do love him. I mean, yeah, he's just he even appears in Five Nights at Smudger. Though it was confirmed by Christopher Audrey that Stanley, his remains are still in the mine and he died, which means fans, for final time, stop giving redemption arcs to these people. So yeah, we can assume the same for Smudger. So yeah, Smudger, Stanley are dead, R.I.P. Timothy, my boy. Timothy is the third engine that works at the Soto China clay pits with Bill and Ben. And there's a whole Unlucky Tug video if you want to watch about him with more detail. But basically, he's an oil-burning engine, appears in the movie Tale of the Brave. And there are technically two Timothys, technically. There's this bastard, which I, like, oh wait, Timothy is just a dumb character overall, this one. But the thing is, everyone always just used Thomas. If you look here, do you see that right there? That little thing? That's the extended side plates. Side tank. Timothy doesn't have that, you idiots. Okay? I know Timothy lore. He doesn't have he's the older E2. But yeah, he's just, like look at that. That's better. Anyway, he's dumb and stupid, made up of smoke, twisted, cruel man. This is the good Timothy. He has take and play model, Trackmaster models, a wooden railway model that I need. And actually appears in a few episodes, like the Rainbow Truck. Has some cool on-screen chemistry with Salty. He's based off this super obscure model that, as far as I'm aware, this is the only picture of it ever. And overall is a really cool guy, but he got banished to the Shadow Realm when Blubba took over, and we're probably never going to see him again. But we might. Go watch this video. D199. D199 appeared on Sodor with our boy Bear. It was very rude, very stuck up, pulled a fuel tanker train, and broke down. And then the station master threatened to turn him into Span Can, and that's where the new name came in. Imagine being named like after that. You got Bowler and Spam Cam. Now he is a fan favorite character that everyone loves. We got some wooden railway models that make him look way too happy. And honestly, just a fan favorite guy overall. We love him. Old Stuck Up. Number 4D125, Old Stuck Up. Yeah, he was very stuck up. Didn't want to sleep with the other engines, so he waited outside, wanted to sleep back into the shed when all the engines were gone, and crashed through a wall. Now, he has many models that made after him because we love him. Very many edits. And he was scrapped. It wasn't actually because of this accident. But see, the thing is, in real life, the engine was scrapped 1 year before his appearance. So maybe it was this. Anyway, he got banished to the Shadow Realm, and now he's dead. R.I.P. D261. D261 is sorry if I'm sniffling. I'm a little sick right now. D261. D261 is a Class 40 diesel. He appears in the book Step Beneath the Bluebot Engine. He's very snobby, very rude, usual diesel stuff. And then he swallows a bowler cap and gets fried. And then he gets kicked out. That's it. That's it. Stepney and Doug had to pull the express because God bless the two of their souls. Better appear again. In the TV series, though, not much different. I'm actually surprised they built a Class 40 diesel model for this boy. They were expecting him. He was rude and snobby. He broke down. Duck and Stepney shamed him, and then they pulled the express. Now, I personally think it was Donald Douglas who screwed over Class 40, but that's just my own theory. And he left. He does have many, many different toys and stuff. I mean, I need this toy. I want this toy.